Ja wchodzę, pan zobaczy. Ja się żegnam. No.
Wu Assassins is badass. Unfortunately, though, being badass, the show does have a myriad of spectacular fight sequences, even though most impressive fights cannot stop a bad story from blooming as the story progresses throughout the core narrative of the story. So imagine something like this: the Kingpin plot from Into the Spider-Verse, but Spider-Man is Iron Fist, and Kingpin is a wood-manipulating monk like Yamato from Naruto. Story-wise, Wu Assassins is better than Iron Fist Season 1 and 2 combined, retreading the same territory as Iron Fist, but with Iko Uwais is the chosen one, and happens to be in the possession of 1,000 monks inside of his body and soul, like the Avatar, and kicks people's asses up and down the hill, all by himself. So it's basically super assassin story, but he's just uber charged and he's nearly unstoppable unless the plot demands he needs to be stoppable, or until the main character is tasked with killing people, which of course goes against his antiquated sense of ethical morality, and he does everything within his power not to kill people when he doesn't has to, but still kicks people's ass. But ultimately, once again, the Wu Assassin is tasked with killing these elemental warlords that have the ability to destroy the world and rule it with tyranny, that possesses elemental powers, abilities of earth, water, wind, air, and metal, and also wood, which are called the Wu Zing. Now, this is when the story gets a bit complicated, when the main character, whose name is Kai, discovers the Fire Wu Zing is his father, named Uncle Six, the main character's adopted father, which I just said, and he happens to also be the leader of a triad in San Francisco. The Mr. Miyagi-like mentor the main character has is also completely enigmatic, thereby and therefore being unhelpful and a hindrance than someone that helps him, which is literally her only purpose throughout the duration of the story, being unhelpful. The other roadblock in the way of stopping the main character from achieving ultimate victory is the Wood Woozing, who turns out to be a wealthy entrepreneur with limitless cash flow and is revealed to be immortal, and of course, whatever bullshit problems the main character's friends have, like not being able to pay the rent on time, drug addiction, being an asshole problems, and naturally work with their occupation problems and losing your job problems, which is all things people can relate to. Overall, the show is decent simply because the fights are so damn awesome, but the problem with the show is that despite the main character being the Wu Assassin and being the most archetypical main character ever, who's thrusted into the role of doing something that he doesn't really want to, but is ultimately capable of doing so, and just so happened to be a very good, well-mannered individual, sadly, despite the main character being the Wu Assassin, the chosen one, and the main character, the story being 10 hours long really doesn't feel like I know what the Wu Assassin does or what his fundamental purpose is. The story explains that the Wu Zing are super evil and are indestructible, and they like killing people because they're psychotic like all the bad guys. But throughout the duration of the first season, it shows a fairly human-like motivations that drive these characters, besides this one other girl that betrays her boss and becomes the Fire Wu Zing because she's psychotic. The interesting thing about the Iron Fist is that it had a lot of mythology to go along with the character if you read it with the comics that could have been adapted into a TV series. The Wu Assassin has mythology, but the writers don't really explore it, and when they do explore it, they only cherry pick what information they want to take from Eastern mythology and insert it in the show for a simple plot convenience. And when it is inserted into the show, it feels like the actors are reading off a Wikipedia page. You see, the Wu Zing are ultimately very destructive and capable fighters. However, due to the very fact that modern technology exists, the only way the Wu Zing would be fundamentally interesting or, well, destructive in their capabilities and their prowess is during the feudal era of humanity, where swords and shields and stones pretty much existed. Yes, the Wu Zing would have been extremely dangerous. However, due to technology existing, killing the Wu Zing in our reality can be as simple as putting a bullet in between their eyes. So, yeah, I give this show a 7.5 out of 10. You should watch it, and the fights are badass.